Tamari felt a hand on her shoulder. Her eyes fluttered open, the memories flowing back. She jumped into the trees beside Kakashi and Haku. Naruto stood ahead of them, Sakura still on the ground. She quickly jumped up to join them, weaving hand signs. She, Haku, and Kakashi were not used to the desert weather, so she was using a ninjutsu to help the body with temperature control. Kakashi nodded in thanks, about to tell the others to move out. Naruto was already dashing through the trees, headed straight for the nearby land of wind. The time between the two villages was 3 days, 2 if they pushed themselves. Tamari agreed with Sakura on the latter option, as did Tsunade when Haku dragged Naruto to her office. The blonde was adamant about going ahead of them, claiming he could get there in only 1 day. Tsunade denied, since they were dealing with the Akatsuki. The captured Gaara and poisoned Kankuro would just have to wait a little longer. A few hours later, they were nearing the hidden sand. Naruto jumped past the guards, Tamari stopping to explain they were allies. They made it to the hospital where Kankuro laid in agony. He was struck by poison after chasing the 2 Akatsuki members who took Gaara. "Can you help him?" Tamari asked Sakura. Sakura didn't answer, immediately scanning Kankuro with medical ninjutsu. Naruto stood in the hall, creating a dozen shadow clones. They dashed out of the village, Kakashi sitting down beside the blonde. Haku watched Sakura work alongside Tamari, glancing at the blonde as his eyes narrowed in concentration. "May I ask what you're doing?" Kakashi asked a few minutes later. "Viewing my shadow clone's memories in real time. It was a technique Jiraiya helped create. It's mostly to improve training with clones, but they can work with reconnaissance." Several hours went by, Sakura taking extra care to extract every last drop of poison from Kankuro. Naruto's clones finished their mission and burst, Naruto focusing back on reality. He found Kakashi locked in a staring contest with an old woman he recognized rather quickly from Jiraiya's stories. Lady Chiyo, a master puppeteer and poison expert. "I'm afraid you've mistaken me for my father, the White Fang," Kakashi smiled beneath his mask, Chiyo's eyes widening. Her brother released her as she relaxed, eyes shifting to Sakura. "Why is a leaf medic treating one of our own?" she asked angrily. "Sakura was trained by Lady Tsunade. She's the only one whose knowledge of poison matches your own," Tamari answered, sighing in relief that Kankuro was safe. "That old witch? You dare let one of her students touch our shinobi?" "She's the only reason Kankuro was still alive," Naruto stated, standing up. "My clones found the place the Akatsuki of Gaara. I can't tell for certain, but it looks like the Nine-Tails chakra has been activated. I don't know why, but if what I think is happening is true, we need to move. Now." Chiyo walked past them, examining the poison Sakura extracted. After a moment of thought, her expression turned grim. "This poison belongs to him." "Are you certain?" her brother asked. "Who are you talking about?" Haku asked. "Sasori, my old student and grandson. So, he joined the Akatsuki after going rogue," she frowned. "Are you able to counter his poison if we encounter him?" Sakura asked. Chiyo nodded, but Naruto stepped forward. "We don't have time to add another person to our team. She'll be an asset. It takes time for me to prevent poisons, time she can help reduce." Naruto sighed. "Fine then, let's get going. Gaara may not have much time left." "Why is that?" Tamari asked frantically. Naruto's face turned grim. "If Pervy Sage is correct, the Akatsuki are going to remove the One-Tails. If that happens to any Jinchuriki, they die." Less than an hour later, the group, excluding Tamari, was outside a cavern blocked by both a barrier and a large boulder. Naruto's clones could barely sense the One-Tails chakra inside. They had united with Team Guy, who split up as Kakashi and Neji observed the barrier. There were seals in the distance that would break the barrier and allow them to find whatever was inside. Naruto began readying chakra the moment Kakashi revealed his Sharingan. Mind Link Jutsu. Sakura's eyes widened. You know Yamanaka ninjutsu? Yes, through the Sharingan. It takes a lot of energy and concentration, but I can use most clan techniques in the leaf, though I prefer to keep that unknown to most. Kakashi's eyes narrowed. Team Guy is almost in position. The moment they break the seal, we destroy the boulder and move in. Chio snorted. You're no different than the White Fang, I see. Sakura, get ready to smash that boulder, Naruto ordered, crouching. The moment there's a path, I'm going in. Sakura nodded, Haku moving to Naruto's side. However, he didn't notice, his mind in another place. What exactly do you plan to do? The Nine-Tails rumbled behind him. I hope that you or the Three-Tails would have one, Naruto huffed. Don't worry, if the One-Tails has been removed from Gaara, I plan to get at least some of it back. However, my main focus is Gaara. The Three-Tails chuckled. For what it's worth, we are grateful that you even consider rescuing our sibling. Naruto looked up at the two beasts. Over the last 3 years, he had grown used to having both of them, including their almost childish banter. He refused the fox's chakra the entire time, which only made it pester him further. But the Three-Tails kept the fox in check, much to his disbelief. You do realize only I can save that idiot Tanuki, the Nine-Tails growled. I'm also your best chance at saving his Jinchuriki. His name is Gaara, Naruto hissed. Why should I care? Don't make me shut you up. You know I can. For what? A few measly hours? You won't. Not when a fight is about to start. Even if you refuse my chakra, you still won't risk it. That's enough, brother, the Three-Tails stated, its liquid form now floating above the fox. After all, his power to absorb chakra is the only reason you were able to save me. Naruto's eyes narrowed as he returned to reality, his figure fading from the tailed beast's view. You know father wants the two of you to get along, the Three-Tails stated. Like you did with your pathetic host? He was only considered a perfect Jinchuriki because you both failed to dispel a Genjutsu, the fox countered, the turtle falling silent. He might have a fraction of father's power, but I'm not willing to see him as anything but a mere human. And what if father proves you wrong? Then so be it. The boulder was smashed to bits from Sakura's punch. Naruto could see into the large cave, his ki spiking so hard that the people around him were frozen stiff. Two figures could be seen atop the fingers of a bizarre statue that he couldn't make out. The rest of the figures were blurry images. They all turned at the sound of the boulder breaking, vanishing the second after. Gaara was suspended in the air, the last wisps of bubbling orange chakra pouring into the mouth of the dark statue. The rest of the details were a blur. Naruto vanished in a flash of light. Shadow Clone Jutsu! Wind Style! Compression Burst! The two clones struck at the physical Akatsuki members, both barely dodging the attack. The real Naruto aimed to grab Gaara as he fell, but he was too late. Something pulled the new Kazekage out of his path. It took a fraction of a second to realize it was chakra threads, coming from the hunched Akatsuki. As he flew through the air, he had to make a choice. He felt a pair of cries ripple through his mind, as he allowed himself to continue flying towards the statue. He landed on what he assumed was the face. One of the 9 eyes was wide open, staring directly at him. Naruto slammed his fist into the open eye, letting out a blood-curdling scream. Energy encased his arm, seeping through his flesh. "What's that kid's problem?" one of the Akatsuki shouted. "He's absorbing the One-Tail's chakra from the statue," the other shouted. "Stop him!" "Icicle barrage!" The duo was bombarded by the frozen shards, allowing Kakashi to slip past. He pulled Naruto away from the statue, the orange chakra receding into it as it too began to sink into the ground. The blonde was on his knees, holding his arm in pain. He looked up to see the blonde Akatsuki, Deidara, holding Gaara by the throat. The other, who he assumed was Sasori, had a sharpened tail ready to attack. "I see we have the Nine Tails to deal with now. Deidara, can you handle him?" "Why don't you do it? I almost got killed by the weakest one." "My poisons won't work on him with his healing factor. Besides, he's too destructive for my tastes." "Oh fine, just hold on to the corpse, will you?" "You realize that's what he's after," Sasori groaned. "Alright, just deal with the rest of them and I'll handle the fox." "Don't kill him." "I know that, idiot. Still, no promises I don't blow off a limb or two." Kakashi frowned, Sharingan glowing in the cave's darkness. "Sakura, Lady Chiyo, can the two of you deal with Sasori?" Sakura nodded, Chiyo staying silent. Naruto breathed heavily, eyes focused on Gaara. His head was pulsing uncontrollably as Deidara flung Gaara over his shoulder. "Haku, Kakashi, stop him. I might be able to bring Gaara back, but it has to be quick." Haku didn't need any more convincing. She slammed her hands on the ground, pillars of ice flying towards the Akatsuki. Their view was filled with a massive explosion, the ice blown to bits. A gray mass flew past them, out the cave and into the ravine, leading further into the forest. Naruto stumbled out, Kakashi running ahead. Haku helped him catch up, leaving Sakura and Chiyo behind. Naruto's eyes were blood red, but neither decided to point it out. Naruto wouldn't listen anyways. He was purely focused on the fleeing Deidara atop his clay bird. "He's the one with explosion style," Haku warned. "If he could destroy my ice, his explosives will easily kill you if you're caught in one." Kakashi frowned. "Give me a moment and I should have a way to help us avoid being hit, allowing the two of you to attack." Haku nodded, both hopeful Naruto was paying attention. They chased after Deidara, slowly catching up. The flying blonde growled in annoyance, reaching into his pouch. They caught a glimpse of his hand, a mouth somehow attached to the palm. Deidara threw a handful of clay orbs. They avoided their explosions, coming to the realization both that clay and those hand mouths were the secret behind explosion style. His, at least. "Kakashi, can you remove his arm?" Naruto growled, gathering chakra. The Jonin frowned. "Possibly, though I would need him to be restrained so he doesn't avoid my Mangekyo Sharingan." "No problem," Naruto replied. "Wind style, soul speed, full power." He was gone in the blink of an eye, Deidara barely able to throw an explosive, but it never connected. Naruto barreling past the smoke, fire dancing in his hand. "Flaming palm! Damn brat! Fire is so annoying!" Deidara shouted, his clay bird dodging the fire. "Thunderbolt!" A tiny explosion blocked the lightning, Naruto running along the wall of the ravine. He extended his arm, shooting out a hand of sand. He was easily blown away, as was Haku's next attack from below. Deidara flew upwards, Naruto chasing after him with Flying Phoenix. The Akatsuki member had to change course as a mirror made of ice appeared above him. Haku appeared from the mirror, throwing a barrage of Senbon. They were blown away too, Haku landing on Naruto's floating sand platform. "Naruto, attack him head on! Kakashi will back you up," she yelled. Naruto continued to chase Deidara, wind and fire propelling him forward. Deidara snapped, throwing a bomb the size of Naruto's head. Naruto weaved hand signs as it fell towards him. He could sense a surge of chakra below, and he knew who it belonged to. The bomb was a few inches away from the blonde, Deidara ready to let it explode. Kakashi, from the surface, opened his Sharingan eye, for the first time, feeling the transformation into the Mangekyo. He didn't know how, but he felt the 3 curved blades forming a shuriken. He was a little surprised that it felt familiar, even though he'd never used the power before. He focused directly on the explosive ahead of Naruto, chakra surging from his eye. Before everyone's eyes, reality began to bend. The explosive sucked into the vortex before vanishing. Deidara stared in shock, Naruto clasping his hands together. Storm style. Laser arrow. A beam of energy shot from his hands, faster than Deidara could react. But it wasn't aimed for him. It was aimed at his clay bird's neck, the rest of the head detaching from the body. Another mirror of ice formed beneath it, Haku catching the head and receding into the mirror. She reappeared on the ground, pulling Gaara's body out before Deidara recovered and set it to blow. Damn it! If I lose the Kazekage, Sasori will give me hell. Screw it. I'm gonna show you some of my greatest masterpieces, Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Naruto let out a deep breath. Storm style used more chakra than expected, but he was still capable of staying in the air. He looked up to see the sky filled with tiny clay birds, all flying towards him. Deidara had a confident smirk on his face. Naruto grimaced, letting himself fall towards the earth at high speeds. The birds followed. One got close to him, immediately exploding. He narrowly used soul speed to dodge, only to put him in the path of the others. He used soul speed again and again and again, dodging each small explosion by an inch. He reasoned Deidara would have to run out of clay eventually, and that was the moment he was weak. It's just that easy. Behold, my art! Naruto's vision went black, engulfed by the new head of Deidara's giant bird. He dived towards the ground, jumping away at the last second. He made a single hand sign, and his creation went up in violent flames. A few feet away, Haku watched with horror. If not for Kakashi's hand, she would have charged in. Stay with Gaara, he's fine. I'll back him up. Haku reluctantly listened, Kakashi dashing off. Deidara looked at the cloud of dust with pride. He was certain that Jinchuriki was alive, although badly injured. Crystal ice mirrors. The blonde found himself encased by reflective sheets of ice, Naruto standing within each of them. You escaped? You escaped my art? I did, and I stole some of your so-called art, Naruto stated, holding a handful of white clay. Each of his reflections threw the clay with all their strength. Deidara's eyes wide in shock. Naruto made a single hand sign, releasing a burst of electricity. Deidara was unable to dodge his own explosion style, the blast held in by the mirrors. Naruto jumped away as Deidara collapsed. Kakashi ran up to him, Naruto's eyes growing wide. Get back, he shouted, him and Kakashi dashing away. He saw Deidara's savage grin before he was consumed by light. The explosion felt throughout the forest. Clouds of dust covered the large crater. Naruto sighing in relief. He's still alive, Kakashi frowned. He must have used his explosion to hide his escape. Fine with me for now, Naruto said, dashing towards Haku and Gaara. I need to hurry. It may be too late for this to work. Kakashi nodded, deactivating his Mangekyo and hiding his Sharingan. It took a moment to realize what Naruto was planning. Not only could it be too late, but the Jonin doubted the One-Tails chakra would willingly return to Gaara. If you like what you just heard, consider hitting the subscribe button and bell icon to get notified about new videos. If there's a part you've missed, then check out the entire playlist on screen. If you like this story, please share it with your fellow anime lovers. Any support helps a lot. That's all for now. This is Ninja Kai, disappearing in a golden flash.